Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Laying It Out. I am Chelsea Pockets.
And I'm Scotti Dempsey.
And we have been gone for some time.
Oops.
We did record an episode like 2 weeks ago, but it was right before regionals. It was like going to be like a little regionals preview. And as I'm driving down to Delaware on Friday, I'm like, shit, I never sent Lindsay the little form that we're supposed to fill out, because Ultiworld is a real company that does things efficiently. Yes. And I did not fill out the form, so our podcast did not get edited and up in time. And I didn't want to, ping Lindsay and be like, hey, can you edit this right away? Also, because by the time that weekend was over, the podcast would have been a little outdated. So we just took a month off instead.
Oopsie.
Yes, and then we were going to record last week because Scotti was very kind and came to my parents' house to help me watch a 14-week-old puppy for a week. And then we found out that puppies are extremely difficult and leave you with absolutely no free time. And
None.
Then also just calling out my brother for kind of being a piece of shit and not helping us with the dog.
At all. No help.
No. I think at one point, Scotti was lovely. I did all the cooking and she did all the dishes. At one point, Brendan made a comment about the kitchen being dirty. And I'm like, hey, why don't you do the dishes? Because I've been cooking for you all week. He's like, no. I'm like, okay, then just, I don't know, do something. Take out the trash, maybe. I don't know. He's like, I'm tired from work. I'm like, I'm also tired from work. I shit talked with my mother so much on the phone on Friday. I was like, your son does not do anything in this household. For reference, he's a 23-year-old.
Oh, God. Really exposing him here.
I know. He's a very intelligent man. He does very important things at his office. He's Mr. Important, but then he does nothing at home. So
yes,
it's fine.
So
but yeah, not done complaining about me. Let's re-record what we recorded last session. Scotti, how did your Club Ultimate season wrap up?
Yeah. Wow. It feels like forever since it happened, but I guess we're recording October 12th. Club sectionals was September 10th and 11th. And that's where my season ended, you know. We played well as a team. I think that we probably could have done better, but hey, there's always room for growth. So hopefully we bring back as much of the roster as possible again next year and can have a really fun, run it back season. Maybe this time we try to make regionals. There were only 4 bids for my region. Of course, Exist took one with, I think, absolutely no contest. I don't think that anyone gave them any scare at all. And then GA and Funk also killed it. And so then it was kind of like Fly, Heatwave, Eat Lightning was in the mix, Deadweight, and then my own club team. And also a mixed pickup team with all elite players, just kind of all trying to battle it out. So things did not go our way. Had a fun loss on Universe. And that was where my club season ended. Regardless, now I've had time to step away from it, and I've been in the off season, pretty effectively in the off season. I actually haven't really touched a Frisbee since then, but took the time to come visit Pockets, hang out in Connecticut, which was fun, but very tiring. We were very busy.
It did feel like we were new parents to a newborn at points.
I felt like that the whole time.
It was rough. A puppy requires a lot of attention. And also, her name's Bonnie, which I go back and forth if I like the name. She is not very food motivated. She wouldn't do stuff for a treat, I noticed. Yeah. So my parents are going to have a fun time training her. My old dog, which we mentioned on the podcast a while ago, passed away a few months ago. My parents were very upset. That is their 3rd child. They love her to death, especially since the kids are all out of college now. And she was very easy to train because she loved to eat. So she would do anything for a treat. And this new dog just is the exact opposite of her. She bites everything. She pees and poops all over the place. She is. Oh my God. She's so much energy. She's so cute. But oh my God. After that, I was like, I don't know if I want kids.
Seriously, I was like, I don't know if I want a dog ever. I was like,
I know.
I got home to my roommate's like 12-year-old cat, and I was like, you smell so bad, but that's okay because all you want, like the most that you ask of me is to sit on my chest while I lay in bed, and I will let you do this however much you want.
Yeah, I came home to Wawa and I was like, I missed you so much. She also, she's on a diet now because Bonnie was 6 pounds and Wawa just like, I picked her up the first time I like walked in the door. I was like, oh my God, you were so heavy. She looks like a little cotton ball. So she's on a diet now. So that'll be fun.
I think we should have Lindsay send us a picture of their cat and we should do a Podcats Instagram picture.
Yes, we should also release a special edition episode. And I mentioned this because I also heard Ciabatta like purring in your lap before we started recording. We should just have a cat sounds episode, a little ASMR. We can have them.
Talks a lot, so that'll be very doable.
Oh, good. Wawa screams for her dinner, so.
So does he. And also at 3 a.m., he loves to sing. It's lovely. That's why we have doors in our apartment, so we can shut him out. Yeah, so visited Pockets. That's my other little recap. Went and visited my parents. My dad's friend's son, who's in 6th grade, just joined my middle school's ultimate team, and he loves it. So he came over so me and my boyfriend could teach him how to throw a flick. And we had a lot of fun, and it was raining, and we just like kind of ran around my front yard and like threw a frisbee. And that's like actually the most frisbee I've done since sectionals. So hopefully we can get him like into frisbee. Like he's already into it, but like more into like frisbee than football early. So that was fun. Rode my horse, got to see her for the first time in a while, and my legs are really sore. So that is where I'm at. That's all my new stuff. Nothing really all too interesting. How about you?
It's interesting to me. I like hearing about it. Jug handle season ended at regionals. We took 3rd. I was pretty happy about that. We had a nice game against Fleet. There was some back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah.
Shout out to CJ, who leading up to our game was like, fuck you, Jug handle. And then after the game was like, okay, good game. I see it. And I was like, okay, I'll take that. I'll take the trash talk and then the, hey, you know what, head nod after the fact. I'll take it. I'm okay with that. And then we played Revival for 3rd place and took 3rd for the region. So that was nice. We had a little circle at the end, and our coach just like plopped a case of beer in the middle, and then everyone just like grabbed one, and we're all sitting around the circle. And it's like we do this thing at the end of tournaments where you start with the person across from you, and you like just shout out some nice things about them. But because it was like the last one of the season, everyone was doing like longer ones, and people were crying, and it was cute. It was nice, and I was happy. I don't know. I had a good time.
That's so cute.
I know. I had my really big sunglasses on so no one could see that I was crying. And then, one of our players announced that he was retiring. And then I really lost it. It was not good.
Those like sentimental end of season like shout out circles. We did one too. It's just like obviously less fresh for me to be like so sad.
Yeah, it was cute. It was a nice way to end the season, even though it's like I was so excited to play, I was so excited at sectionals when we like had the 9-10 game against AMP where we lost by 1. So we were in the semifinals against Rally, and like we did we didn't do badly, but they just did better than us. And I think it was like 15-7. And then they went on to play Amp, and Amp crushed them like 15-3. And I was just like, oh, I had so much confidence going into regionals, and then just getting whooped, and then watching Rally get whooped. And I was like, oh. But overall, I think it was like a good season, and Jug Handle is relatively young. So I'm looking forward to the rest of my future.
That's great. And hopefully, like, Jug Handle friends are, like, off-season friends, too, so you can hang out with them.
Well, I've complained about this, maybe to you before, but we are the mixed ultimate team of New Jersey. So we're all spread out, literally from Philadelphia to New York City. And I am, like, in a really awkward place where maybe the closest person is, like, 30 minutes from me. 30 minutes from me. So, yes, I would love to be off-season friends, and it's fun chatting with them at Fall League, but I don't really live close to any of them.
That stinks.
Also, I'm, like, awkward and can't initiate conversation. I know, I have a podcast. You would think that I am social.
No, because we just talk to each other. I understand the second one, for sure.
Yeah. There are some people where I can, and some people I'm like, oh, you're so much cooler than me. How do I talk to you?
Yeah. I feel that. Oh, man. So, yeah, Frisbee season. Now we're into Fall League. I haven't gone to a single game of my Fall League yet because I've been away. And that trend will continue until 2 weeks from now. So that's my bad. Maybe I shouldn't have signed up for Fall League. I know that it's not different from last year. I'm like, I have a boyfriend now, and like I have to like do stuff with him, but it's like we have to do family stuff together now because it's been a year. So it's like between the high holidays with like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and then like being like, hey, you should come hang out with my parents. We've been busy. We've been away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've been dating the boy for 6.5 years, and we're still trying to get our mothers to meet. So we'll see how that goes. They're going to like each other. I don't know why I said we'll see how that goes. It's just that my mother is an anxious woman, and now she has a puppy, and I don't think she's ever going to leave the house. Except to take care of that puppy.
Coordinating parents is the tough one. Because, yeah. I mean, again, I'm lucky. I live in, like, a hub destination location. And so it's just, like, it's easy for people to come to me and then, like, meet my friends. And then I'm like, oh, hey, like, do you want to just do something that I do on a regular basis? Like, you can just come with me. And it's always fun because I like where I live and what I do in my day-to-day life. So I would hope that whoever I drag along also has fun.
Yeah. Oh, I liked visiting you. Well, Fall League season's wrapping up. With the season wrapping up, we have Club Nationals. Woo, woo, woo. So we were going to talk about, we'll take a break before, but we were going to talk about just some of the teams we're excited to watch and maybe rooting against. Bah, bah, bah.
Yes.
You'll find out after this break. All right, hello, welcome back after that little break. We, for our Club Nationals preview, since we are not Charlie and Keith and have a lot of Frisbee knowledge, I thought we could just pick a division. We're going to talk about all 3 divisions, all equal love. Scotty and I are obviously mixed girlies, but I do have teams I'm excited about in the other 2 divisions. So I thought we could just go around and talk about some of the teams that we're excited about and the reasons why. And they're just going to be for fun reasons. They're not going to be like, oh, this team has the best fert stack I've ever seen in my entire life. That was my Charlie impersonation. Should I go?
Yes.
I was going to say, should I go as Charlie for Halloween?
Oh my god. I do have a leftover bald cap from when I was Pitbull, but I already have a plan for that one.
No, use that. So what I was going to do, for equality, Where am I? I'm just gonna roll a dice, and that will determine what division we talk about first. I only have a 4, 1 through 4, so if I get a 4, I don't know. Oh, I got rid of it. All right, roll. 3! All right, that means we're talking about men first, because that's the last one I wrote on my list.
Okay, I have my men bracket right up here because
Nice.
USAU released the schedules, and you know, just as far as our Frisbee expertise and stuff, there was so much contention about, you know, what Deep Look was saying for regionals previews. So let's I don't know, stir up more contention with our absolutely unbased, no knowledge about anything. No, just kidding. Please don't tweet at us because I don't use Twitter anyway.
Yeah, no. I don't know. You want to start with your teams or team? I don't know.
My teams. So I think number 1, I have Truck Stop, which is obvious. It's the first seed, and it has Kid Connors on it.
Yeah, no, literally, I'm looking at my notes, and I wrote the 2 teams. First is Truck Stop, and then my one note is just Kid Connors, and then a lot of exclamation points. For people that don't know who Kid Connors is, his real name is David Bloodgood. He is a Lehigh alum. He was a senior when I was a freshman. He's just a nice guy, and he's our friend, and I like watching him play Frisbee, and I like when Lehigh people do well at Frisbee. I have another Lehigh person on my list in a different division. When I did that episode with Michael like a month ago, he was like, "You don't know enough Frisbee player names." So this is our Club Nationals is going to be, my goal is to learn some more Frisbee player names. I'll actually listen to the commentary and try and pay attention to who these people are besides just numbers. So the other fun thing about Truck Stop is they won US Open and Pro Champs this year. So they could, if they win Nationals, win the Triple Crown, which is a thing that has happened 4 times.
That's so cool. Yeah, I hope they do that.
I know.
That'd be pretty sick.
No, yeah, that'd be fucking sick. I was looking at the things. I guess 3 men. Well, it's happened 3 times in the men's division. 1 men's team has done it twice, and then 1 mixed team has done it. So yeah, that would be cool. I do have some minus points I wrote down. One of their mint green turquoise jerseys. I do not like those. So
this is very exacting Frisbee reporting right here.
Yeah, you and I talk about jerseys more than we talk about actual like Frisbee analysis.
Yeah, that's what I care about.
And then also, Kid did not say hi to me at regionals. And I know I was yelling at him across an entire field, and there was music blaring from every which direction, but he still did not hear me yelling at him. I was also just yelling, "Kid! Hey, Kid!" and not, "Hey, David!" Which, I don't know, he probably just goes by David these days. So, minus points for that. And then my second team that I'm going to be rooting for is Pony. I am a North Jersey girl now, so they're my closest ones. I also, Jimmy, my boy, I want to be friends with him one day, so I got to root for him.
He viewed our Instagram story once.
I know, he viewed our Sponge thinks I have the biggest crush on him. I'm like, no, he just seems cool. He plays the piano. I want to be his friend. And then also Jeff Babbitt, who is just like a fucking beast and also looks like a friendly person, and I want to be his friend too. So I just wrote down Jimothy and Jeffrey on my notes page, rooting for them.
The 2 J names. Yeah, I mean, definitely rooting for Pony. And then I guess as far as like other teams with minuses, if we're doing minuses on jerseys, I thought I was into Sockeyes jerseys at the beginning of the season. No, I don't like it. Not a fan.
Was that the striped like turquoise number?
No, they're like the pink polos.
Oh. I don't remember what those look like.
They're weird. Yeah. You got anything else about the men's division?
No,
Any
I just had two of them. I don't know enough about the men's teams in general to have minuses for them, to be honest. Like they're not doing anything too wrong. So I think we can move on. I'll roll my dice again. See who's next. 2. So we got the women's division next. Number 1 team I'm rooting for, fucking Phoenix.
Of course, gotta be Phoenix. Yeah, I'm with you there.
We gotta represent our North Carolina friends.
Yeah.
We got Lindsay and Mike. Also, Sarah Mextroff is playing for that team now, and she's also someone that she falls in line with the Jimothy Mickle. I gotta stop calling him Jimothy, but she falls in line in that tier of players for me, where I just think they're really cool. Like, I was watching her a lot this season, any of her tape games, World games. She just, like, every time she scores, she's just so casual about it. She's just like, yeah, I caught that. And I'll do it again. And I just think she's got a cool vibe about her, and I like watching her play. So,
yeah, I'm with you there. And I mean, she was in our, she was in the conversation of our drunk checks about like who's the LeBron of Ultimates or the Michael Jordan. So we were like, if we're talking women, she's pretty iconic. So While we were puppy sitting, we drunkenly messaged Mike and Lindsay separately, and then also your boyfriend. We're like, who is the Michael Jordan of Ultimate Frisbee? And Sarah Mextroff did pop up. My second team I'm rooting for in the women's division is Grit. 1, Mid-Atlantic team, staying close to the region. And 2, another Lehigh alum, Lily, aka Madison Cannon, is playing for that team. So I know
we just gotta root for everyone Lehigh.
Maddie now, so
Maddie, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more just like she doesn't use her Lehigh nickname. It's hard to not call her Lily. But I'm excited to go to root for her. I'm like, hell yeah, she was like such an influential player, and we were like playing at Lehigh, and I'm excited to see her kill it on the national stage.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for her. I'm rooting for Grit super hard. They also make some fun videos on Instagram, so they got that going for them. Do you have any other women's teams?
Yeah, I'm looking at the other women's teams. There's not like a lot that I really know about like the women's division either. So yeah, shall we just send it over to mixed?
Yeah, well, send it, dude. Yeah, so for mixed, anyone that listened to the podcast last year knows I am an AMP stan, almost to an embarrassing level. So you gotta root for them.
We gotta. Yeah,
we gotta root for them.
We'll root for AMP.
And then also, bringing up that after this podcast, I will never talk about it ever again. That 9-10 sectionals loss. So if AMP wins the entire thing, they win nationals, that means Jug Handle is the second best team in the country, right? That's how math works. We lost to them on Universe. They win it all. We're obviously second best team in the country. That's how it works.
That's exactly how math works. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, okay, we're all clear on that. We've set the stage here. Scotti and Pockets, the ultimate Frisbee gods. We know everything about the sport, everything there ever was. Okay, clear. Done. Dragon Thrust is another team I'm rooting for. Number 1 seed. I hate rooting for the number 1 seed, even though 2 of them are on my list, Truck Stop and now Dragon Thrust. But they have Caleb Denacor, and I know he hasn't worked for Achievement Hunter in like 10 years, but that was a very important part of my 14-year-old life. So I'm rooting for him. It's fun to watch someone that you like grew up watching play video games, which is something I loved back then and still do. And now you're a 25-year-old and you're watching them play Ultimate Frisbee, which is now something that I love doing. So
you can follow in his footsteps.
Well, I've never been a professional gamer, so I don't know. I'll have to get there at some point.
There we go. That's the retirement plan. Born to game, forced to play Ultimate. So who am I rooting for? Exist, of course. New York, do work. You know the vibe. I have nothing to say except I hope they kill it. They just absolutely slaughtered at yes.
Oh, I had something to say about Exist because they're also on my list. Their captain, Jenny, is my fall league captain, so super rooting for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the women that I know on Exist are really nice. I haven't, like, really crossed paths with any of the men, except for there's one guy that was on Columbia. He did his, he was just finishing out his grad year eligibility with Columbia. Well, he did his undergrad there, too. But, and now he's on Exist, and he's really good. So my boyfriend coached him, and now he's going to nationals. So that's, like, kind of cool. And this kid is just his name's Oscar. He's so good that he plays better at an elite level than he does, like, when they slow it down, because he just throws crazy shit that only really good players can catch. Is
that good?
Well, he sees looks that, like, he can catch, but because he's so elite, but, like, regular people can't.
Oh, okay. That I guess that counts.
Yeah.
I go back and forth where I'm like, is that a good huck if someone had to lay out for it? But I guess if you're throwing it because you know that player can lay out for it and they will, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frisbee analysis.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, it's just cool to, like, see people that we know in the Frisbee world doing cool stuff. So also, we have, I'm excited to see Toro play. So Toro wasn't really on my radar initially. They are out of Durham, North Carolina. So we love Triangle Ultimate, but my roommate's boyfriend's sister is on Toro. So I know this sounds like a big, like, Spaceballs, like, connection, but I mean, he's also just, like, a friend of mine from League and stuff. So he and actually my roommate are going out to San Diego to watch. So I'm going to have her give us a scouting report for our post-nationals review, because she clearly knows more about Frisbee than we do. This is a joke. I got her to play Frisbee to, like, hang out with me at League. So we'll have a real Natties for Newbies conversation if she wants to come on next.
That would be fun.
After that trip. But yeah.
Would that be her first, like, actual Frisbee tournament she's gonna go watch?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, she's gonna be so disappointed in future tournaments.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, wow, this was, like, really mediocrely run. And it's like, yeah, just wait till if you ever play club and you just show up in a field with a bunch of adults and someone just points in a direction and there's cones and there's no lines and there's no organization. I love Frisbee. And
also nationals is so spaced out and you feel like you're not throwing your body on the ground constantly. And then a real tournament, you play like 6 to 8 games in a span of a weekend. So
yeah. And it's in San Diego, fun. Which is amazing. So yeah, we'll have that review there. Excited to see Toro and to, like, see someone else that I know kind of play. And then finally, we always have to talk about the Chad Larson experience.
I had them on my list too. Throwing it back to episode 3, baby. Episode 3. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast. This is the issue with doing the podcast with your best friend is you tell them everything. And you forget what you say on the actual podcast. But at Elite Selects Challenge, our first game of the day was playing. I definitely talked about this on the podcast. But our first game of the day.
Let's do a little refresh anyway.
Yeah. Our first game of the tournament was Chad Larson experience. The day before, one of my teammates at team dinner was like, Pockets, I found this podcast called Laying It Out. It's you. And I'm like, yes, it is me. She's like, oh, I listened to the episode that you did with Pasta, who's also on Jug Handle. It's me. And in that episode, we play a game at the end where I forget, it was like, is this a billiards team name, a nationals team, or a club team name, or something I made up? And I had you and Pasta go against each other. And Chad Larson experience was a team. I found in the comments after that episode, this shows how much growth we've had learning about the Ultimate Frisbee community. Because Chad Larson Experience is going to nationals for their 10th time this year. Their 10th time. And you, Pasta, and I, like a year and a half ago, were like, Chad Larson Experience, what's that? And then they also beat us at Elite Select Challenge. So,
you're like, right.
I'm like, oh, they're good. Okay. So it was just like a nice circle back moment that Pasta and I had. And now they're going to nationals. So I feel like Chad Larson Experience has a place in my heart.
They do. And I also just clicked into their roster, and on their notes, it says, teetering on the edge of relevancy, staring into the abyss. And like, if that ain't so true for all of us, but this podcast and our obsession with, our unrequited obsession with the Chad Larson Experience.
Yeah, I don't know if they know who we are. Not many people do.
No. I found this podcast.
If you're listening,
it's you. You do that. Like, oh no, I hate to
I
be
do
seen.
that. It's me. Yeah, a lot of people found out about the podcast that day. So yeah, super excited for Chad Larson Experience. The last one that I had on my list, and I alluded to this at the beginning of the episode, was a team I'm rooting against. And nothing super against this team, but they're from Canada. And that, my friends, is Red Flag in the mixed division. So, yeah. I also heard some things about them where they may have a player that bids into people a little bit. Just a tad. So for the U.S. Pride in my favorite division, I'm rooting against Red Flag. Rooting against him. It's good to have a villain.
It is good to have a villain
in every chapter of your life. Also, because I have like at least 4 mixed teams that I want to see succeed. So I have to have a little spice in there.
I know. You do have to see, like, I mean, in order to see teams win, you have to see other teams lose. So there's teams that you have to be like, not super sad about them losing, because it's like, I want everybody to just have fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's some teams that I legitimately just don't know about, and I'm looking at the rest of the mixed. Who's the next Chad Larson Experience that you and I just don't know about? But the rest of the country does.
Space Force? That's a cool name.
They might be new.
They're out of Alabama.
I saw one of their YouTube videos, I think.
Ooh, that's a cool logo that they have, too.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it.
Watch them be a team that's existed for, like, 12 years.
Like decades, yeah. For teams that we truly don't know. Ain't that how it be sometimes? The Frisbee world is bigger than I feel like I think it is. That I like continually forget that it is actually so much larger than like I have this concept of. So it's nice to like
it's huge, but it's also small because like you and I are sitting on our couch. I love all the tweets where it's like, here is unsolicited advice from someone sitting on their ass this club nationals. But yeah, you and I are just sitting here, but then like 2 people we went to college with and like played with are at nationals, and they're like competing on this big stage.
Yeah.
And so like there's so many people that play Frisbee, and there's so many people that play Frisbee and aren't involved in like the club world. So it's huge, but it's also ridiculously small.
And there's also so many people who play Frisbee that just like aren't online, so it's just like these like names that like you've just never seen before, and that's also okay, because as we know, I'm a very big proponent of being not online. I hate social media, so I don't use it.
It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm really looking forward to like watching some Frisbee that weekend. I'll watch actually a lot of Frisbee. Because I'm going on a work trip, so I will need something to entertain me while I'm sitting in my hotel room alone. So
Yeah, no, I'll be watching a lot of Frisbee. Sponge might be working that Saturday when the semis are going on. So I might I also had the idea in a Frisbee and delinquent mind that I have, creating a power hour of the best Callahan Award songs, little videos.
Ooh,
and just doing
fun.
that while doing that and then watching a game Ultimate and also just making the power hour is also just fun. And people have definitely done this before where they just combine the songs into a playlist. So I'll just like do that and then pick the 60 best ones. Anyone who doesn't know what a power hour is, you create a playlist. You create a playlist of 60 songs. Yeah, maybe block out this, Mr. and Mrs. Dempsey. Create a playlist of 60 songs. You pick a minute from each song, and every time the song changes, you take a shot of beer. And by the time the hour is up, you have like 4 to 6 beers, depending on how you pour your shot. I start off with a 6 pour, and then I end with a 4 pour. So
I always just take a sip.
Yes, you can take a sip. You can just like, woohoo, take a little sippy sip of your drinky drink. I used to love power hours. Sophomore, junior year, me loved making power hours. I had this girl power hour, which is like a lot of like power anthem songs sung by woman artists. And I forced that upon any poor soul that would listen to it with me.
They're just fun for like sing-alongs because everybody loves a sing-along. So
yeah,
I'm a fan of that aspect.
Sorry that we have derailed into drinking activities.
Yeah, I was like, our delinquent drinking activities aside, Club National. Like we're like, this is why we're not at Club Nationals.
Yes,
Club Nationals. Yay! Exciting to watch. Love to have like watch parties with my friends.
Yes, I would love. I want to like watch. I want to treat it like the Super Bowl, where I go get in a room with people and eat a lot of chips and dip and wings.
Yeah,
3 brewskis. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
And then I'm just excited to watch. Got a lot of teams to root for.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been our Nationals. Or not recap, lol, hasn't happened yet. Nationals preview in the PS zone. Since we did record an episode like 2 weeks ago, but it was never released, we are just stealing the PS zone from that. So I don't remember how we started it, but I'll intro it here. There were some kids on our normal practice fields, and I sent a message in the Jug Handle group me. Yo, looks like we're going to have to fight some 5-year-olds to get the fields back. And someone just posted a quiz that was like, how many children can you fight? So Scotty and I took that to figure out how many kids we are able to fight. And it's quite a few.
Answers may shock you.
Yes. So yeah, stick around for the PS Zone to promote violence.
Yes.
We're promoting belligerency and violence on this podcast. Those are our 2 sponsors today. Use promo code POC97 for 15% off your order.
Thanks so much to Belligerency and Violence for sponsoring us today.
That should be our next. Gosh. I want a tank. I want a cut off cotton tank that just says belligerency and violence. And on the back is the promo code.
Perfect. I'm sure we can make that happen.
Thank you. I'm telling you this because I have no artistic talent. All right. We have dragged this on long enough. Thank you for listening to our episode. I have been Chelsea Pockets.
I have been Scotty Dempsey, and we will catch you on the flip.
They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun.
Sponge, what? The door is closed.
Sorry, I need to take my blue reel.